All right, good morning, everyone. So, today's session is going to be on something that I'm just going to call resourcing. I'm not sure what to call it, but resourcing seems like a nice thing to call it. And I'm going to explain what that means in a minute. So, let's just start by coming to a place of gratefulness. It's a great way to start the day. Gratitude. And breath by breath, just a feeling of gratefulness. Gratefulness that we are taking out this time to just be. And for me, gratitude or gratefulness is also about just connecting with the way things are, connecting with life as it is. Instead of living in ideas of perfection, of how I should be, you should be, the world should be, God should be, things should be. Instead of should be's, we drop the should be's and just come in touch with the way things are. And let the sense of gratitude just fill you up. And just know that this attitude of gratitude is always available to you. Always available. And wouldn't it be lovely if it just comes up spontaneously? You don't even have to bring it up. Gratitude just fills you up. And these waves of gratitude, quite unexpectedly, they just fill you up. We know we've reached a critical point in our practice when we have unexpected tears of gratitude. So many people have tears of lamentation and despair and tears of sorrow. But how common is it to have tears of gratitude? So that's how we are starting our practice today, with the sense of gratitude. And it's always available to us all through this morning session and all through the day. And of course, all through our life. The simple recognition itself can completely light up our life. So today's practice is something I'm going to call resourcing. And it's inspired by a very brief conversation I had with a friend of mine in Bombay a couple of days back. So her name is Priti Mistri, and she's probably even listening to this right now. Hi Priti, if you're there, say hello. And she shared with me how she's been applying what we are calling the energy of blessings. We had a joy shop some time back, and it was all about blessings, and we just practiced blessings for 2 days in different ways. And Preeti said that she's been applying this, and it's really invigorated and completely brought so much of what can I say, blessings to her life and to her practice. And she shared with me how she was practicing the other day, and she asked herself, where do these thoughts come from? What is the source of these thoughts? Hello, Priti, wonderful. Mayurma, she says. Loving wishes to all. So, Priti, I'm going to do my best to share what you shared, and of course, I might not get it completely right, and that's all right. So, she shared that she asked herself, what is the source? What is the source of these thoughts? And at the source itself, what if one puts a filter that only what is good, what is beneficial comes through, and what is not good, what is not beneficial, what is not helpful, what is not skillful doesn't even reach. So the very interesting thought of putting a filter at the source, at the root from where all our thoughts emerge. But then the next thought was, but how do I know what is good and what is not good? What is beneficial, what is not beneficial? It's not always so straightforward. So how is that decided? So she said she just put the filter of blessings. In other words, she made a strong determination, a strong intention that whatever emerges from source, there is a filter of blessings, and automatically what comes out is bound to be a blessing. So this is what we're going to practice now for the rest of this morning session. I'm going to apply the same filter to thoughts, to words, to actions, to situations. So all you have to do is sit comfortably and listen to this gentle guidance. And notice the shift that happened within you as we return to source and we apply this powerful filter at the very foundation of our experience. Which we're going to call, this whole process we're going to call resourcing. So I'd like you to imagine a tree. And a tree, of course, has a large visible component and also a large component that's not readily visible, the root system, which, as many of us know, is at least as big as a tree, very often. So there is a tree, and the bigger the tree, the bigger the root system it has, which is not visible, but we know it's there. And beyond that, of course, is the soil. Is the planet. So we have tree, we have roots, and we have soil. And the roots are very intelligent. They know exactly how much water to take in. They know exactly what nutrients to extract from the soil. Some roots take in more of certain kinds of nutrients, which is why certain plants are more rich in certain nutrients. So now let's compare this analogy of a tree to ourselves. There is our life, which has a manifest aspect. thoughts, words, actions, behaviors, situations. And then there's an invisible aspect, the roots. The root of each thought, the root of each behavior, the root of all situations, which is not readily visible, but it's there. And then there is the source from which everything emerges. So let's start with our thinking process. Every thought we've ever thought, every thought we've ever thought has had some kind of a root, some kind of a foundation. So in this moment, we're returning from the thoughts, which sometimes we like or don't like. We want more of certain kinds of thoughts and less of certain kinds of thoughts. And instead of working at that level of manifestation, let's go backwards. What is the root of thought? You don't necessarily have to have an answer for that. Just have a sense of going back to the root of thought. And what is beyond that? The source of all possible thought. From where all possible ideas emerge. All possible memories, perceptions emerge. The ground of all experience, which we can simply call source. So in this moment, we are updating the filter, which is the root. And this, for all our thoughts, is now the filter of blessings. So the root of thoughts are now updated with the intelligence of blessings. And from this moment onwards, any thought that comes is a blessed thought. Any thought that comes is a blessed thought. Now just stay with this perception. The root of thoughts have been saturated with the intelligence of blessings. And from now on, every thought is a blessed thought. So we don't have to make an effort anymore to control thoughts, to filter thoughts. The filtering is happening by itself. And now feel how that feels. Just knowing this, that for the rest of this session, the rest of this day, the rest of this life, the rest of eternity, every thought is a blessed thought. The intelligence of blessings is saturating the roots of thought. and come to a place of feeling blessed and blessing the entire structure of our thinking. Don't have to understand how this happens or if you're doing it right. Just trust that it's happening. I just attended a workshop in Bangalore where it's called Core Transformation, and all we did in that workshop is look at the things we judge the most, the things that we really consider to be limitations, the things that we really don't understand in our life. And those very thoughts, behaviors, and actions that we tend to judge, that we think are our limitations, that we think are our blockages and obstacles in life, obstacles to personal growth, obstacles to spiritual maturity, those very things, through this beautiful process, in just a short period of 20 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes, it was discovered that actually it's the biggest gift. It became a gateway to liberation. It was recognized that it already was a gateway to liberation. We just weren't seeing it as such. And last evening I shared this practice with my mother, and she was amazed at the power of the practice. And she asked me to do it for her again today. So this is actually quite similar in some ways, what we're doing now. By applying this filter of blessings at the very root of the structure of our thinking, we just relax into the idea that every single thought from now on is a blessed thought, whether we understand it or not, whether our old way of thinking recognize it or not, doesn't matter. It's a blessed thought, and it's a gateway to freedom, to liberation, to peace, joy, oneness, you name it. All those core states of being. Because every thought, every word, every behavior actually has a positive intention. It is an effort of some part of us to protect us, to enhance us. And that's just the thinking of that little part of us. And as we come to recognize and trust the positive intention, it is so freeing. The inner conflict just drops away. So now what we've done with thought, we're going to apply to words. So every word, speech of course is the other side of the coin of thoughts. So now we're going to go to the root of all speech. There is of course a manifest aspect of speech, the way we normally speak and what we have said. And then there's the unmanifest aspect, the roots of speech. And beyond the roots, source, infinity. And again we apply the filter of blessings. The intelligence of blessings is saturating the roots of our speech. In this moment, feel it happening. The roots of speech at a mental level, at a brain level, at a heart level, at a physiological, biological level, at a psychological level, at every level, the energy of blessings is saturating the roots of our speech. And in this moment, whatever speech emerges is blessed speech. And it is a blessing. So, purification of speech. And notice how that feels to know that for the rest of this session and the rest of this day, the rest of your life, the rest of eternity, speech is blessed. With the irreversible filter, with the irreversible intelligence of blessings at its root. Let's apply the same filter to actions, behaviors, includes habits, any kind of conditioned responses, any kind of behaviors. So throughout this life, we've had all kinds of actions. And in this moment, we'll not divide it into good and bad actions. We'll just say there are actions, and then there are roots of actions. And beyond that, there is infinity, there is eternity, there is the source of all things, the vast mystery of all things. So in this moment, just sense that every single action that you have has some kind of a root, which is not always visible. And we're applying the intelligence of blessings, the energy of blessings, to completely saturate, completely upgrade the roots of all our actions from this moment onwards. All actions are blessed actions. Every action, even if it sometimes appears to not be so, is actually a blessing. What a beautiful healing, what a beautiful purification. Thoughts are blessed, words are blessed, actions are blessed. We've become an instrument of blessings. We've become a channel of blessings. And we don't even have to consciously do anything, because from the very root, from the very foundation, there is this powerful filter of the intelligence of blessings, which only lets in what is of maximum benefit to us, to others, and all of eternity, all of existence. Only what is of benefit, of great benefit, can work its way into thinking, can work its way into words, can work its way into actions. And just feel the relief of that. And any lingering doubts about how can this be so, how can it be so simple, how is that possible? Well, that's also blessed. That's also welcome. Non-resistance. Trusting the positive intention of all parts of ourselves as they align themselves back to blessings and align themselves back to source. And now all possible situations, family situations, work situations, life situations, national, international, global, all possible situations, including the environment. Some of us are very concerned about the environment. There was a fire yesterday near Mumbai, which many people were concerned about. All kinds of situations, but these situations, while they are manifest, have an unmanifest aspect. We can call them the roots of those situations. And beyond those roots is a great mystery, is eternity, is source. So, in this moment, for all possible situations, we apply the intelligence of blessings. We invite the energy of blessings and let it filter through, let it saturate, let it upgrade the roots of all situations. It's happening right now. And it's supercharging these roots with blessings. So, from this moment onwards, every situation is automatically a blessed situation. And it is a blessing. And so, no matter what news the newspaper brings today, it is automatically blessed. There is a beauty in it, which we may or may not perceive, and that's all right. For a seed to grow, it has to first break open, which may appear like a great catastrophe for the seed. It completely breaks open. But that is part of a larger process of a tree growing out of it. In the same way, all situations, let's not just take them at face value, where they appear to be so good or so bad. Let's just now know it's all blessed. So, how amazing this is! Every thought is blessed, every word is blessed, every action is blessed, every situation is blessed. And let's go one step further. Everything we see, seeing has its roots connected to source. So the roots of seeing are being filled with blessings, saturated with blessings. The roots of hearing are saturated with blessings down to the nervous system, down to the cellular level, down to the invisible level. The roots of hearing are saturated with this density of blessings. The roots of tasting are saturated with blessings. The roots of soul are saturated with blessings. The roots of texture and touch are saturated with blessings. All the sense doors are saturated with blessings. And even the roots of our intuition, that inner knowing, is completely saturated with dense, pure, the purest form of blessings, the intelligence of blessings. And any remaining holes anywhere in this moment are getting filled with blessings. Yesterday I saw a video where these scientists, they found an abandoned anthill and they poured concrete into it. And they kept pouring and pouring and pouring concrete. It took them 3 days of continuous pouring of concrete, 15 tons of concrete. And then when they finally excavated, they waited for 2 weeks. And then when they finally excavated, this root system went so, this anthill was massive. It was enormous. It went so deep into the earth. And they could easily separate the mud from the structure of the anthill because it all become concrete. So in the same way, in this moment, I'm going to invite the energy of blessings to go ahead and fill the entire root system of every aspect of our life. Thoughts, words, actions, situations, all the sense doors, seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, touching, intuition, and anything else. It's all right now getting completely filled with the dense, beautiful energy of blessings. And now anything that enters this experience is automatically blessed, is automatically a blessing. Man chahi ho to acha, na ho to aur bhi acha, says Harivansh Rai Bachchan, which means if you get what you want, what you think you want, that's good. And if you don't get what you want, that's even better. Because now we know it's a blessing. Now we know it has a positive intention. So beautiful. Take a moment of silence to completely integrate this. And no matter what happens, this intelligence of blessings only expands, only gets more consolidated. And this is an irreversible update to our operating system. And whether we understand it or not, know it or not, this upgrade has now happened. And the results of this upgrade are going to start manifesting and showing up in all kinds of ways, all of today and for the rest of this life. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. Pulling out a random Buddha doodle for today, and it says, tend to your triggers with love. Oh, so beautiful. Tend to your triggers with love, which is so similar to what we've done today, isn't it? We've blessed the very foundation of our entire life. We've blessed it with the filter of blessings. And this is another way of saying, tend to your triggers with love. All right, everyone, have a beautiful day. Lots of love. Infinite blessings. Infinite blessings.